Hello, my name is Kaylin, and another month has passed. It is somehow now July. We're already more than halfway through the year, and that is insane to me. But it is time for another monthly to be crocheted video, and I said in my last video in my June to be crocheted that I was gonna have a lot of free time, so I was gonna be crocheting a lot, and I went nuts. It was crazy. I've crocheted so much just in the past month, so very excited to show. I'll start with what I think is the craziest thing, and it is that I finished my second US leg blanket. This was for the Eras tour, obviously, and this was for Miami to Vancouver. So just the very last bit of tour, because I didn't want to put it on my international blanket. That one was so long already. I washed it. I was really scared to wash it. Like, the colors are so vibrant, and I was really worried it was gonna bleed. Someone in my family got like sick and they used a blanket, so I was like, I don't really want that on my blanket that I worked so hard on. So I washed that one, which you wash it in cold water, so it didn't bleed. It was really good, actually. So it's like pretty much the same yarn for that blanket, but it's acrylic yarn, so you have to wash it in like colder water, dry it colder, but it was kind of the same thing as blocking it. I've never blocked anything besides washing it. I don't know, I just don't think it's necessary, really. I don't really want to. My blankets are long enough as they are. If I feel like it, maybe, but whatever. I think it was kind of the same as blocking it. So originally the international blanket was 10 feet long, so I washed it and I remeasured it, and basically blocking it makes like the stitches like looser. Not looser, but more like flexible, especially with acrylic yarn. And it is now 10 feet and 8 inches. So it got a whole 8 inches when I washed it. Anyway, I finished this. It wasn't too long ago, maybe a week ago or so. I really don't know what time is, honestly, right now, because I don't do much. So I have no idea like what time really is. It's done. I was not expecting to finish it. At the end of the last video, I was here at the best day. I was really more focused on my first US leg blanket. I did 17 main rows from I Love You, I'm Sorry to the manuscript, which, if you can't tell, this isn't just a really big block of white. The manuscript is white because it's Tortured Poets, so that is 2 rows, and then there's the border. I mean, I wasn't really too far off from finishing it anyway, but I didn't think it was gonna happen this month. I just kind of wanted to finish it as soon as possible, just so I didn't have to worry about it anymore. So there was I Love You, I'm Sorry, Last Kiss, Tortured Poets Department, and Maroon, and then the final mashups of the Eras tour, final surprise songs, which were A Place in This World, New Romantics, Long Live, New Year's Day, and the manuscript. This month, since I think it was last month, I learned how to tie yarn together in a way that it won't fall apart. I think it's called the surgeon's knot. I don't know, I just looked up like how to tie yarn on TikTok, and that was the first thing that came up. And then I saw people saying like the surgeon's knot is like the most secure one, and I looked up and was like, oh, I guess that's what I've kind of been doing. So that's good for me. I tied a bunch of my scrap yarn together, or, you know, if I am running out and I have the next skein, I can tie those 2 together. So I've been really working through my like stash of just scrap yarn. Specifically this 1989 row, New Romantics, I had like 3 different scrap yarns of that color that were enough to go for a whole row. So I tied 2 of them together, and I got a 3rd one from some more leftover yarn, so I tied that one together, and then I used this, and I literally was able to do 1 whole row down, and then pretty much all the way back. I think I had maybe like that much of the 2nd row left to do with the new skein of yarn. It was just so crazy. I was like, I had that much. Could you imagine if I wasted that all? That'd be terrible. Yeah, and then I did the border. Since this is the same pattern and stitch as my blue summer blanket I've shown in previous videos, I used the same border kind of technique pretty much So you just single crochet around the whole thing. So normally when I do it, like I think, let's say here, I think I finished here. I think this was like the last row. So I got to the end of the manuscript row. I just go down that way because I'm like, oh, I don't have to turn my work, it's just right there. I think maybe I should be turning my work. I think that's what I'm meant to be doing. It's too late now. I think I meant to go and then turn and do it this way and then come back up that way. Yeah, I don't know. That's how I did it for the last two blankets. I don't remember what I did for the border on my international blanket. That was just a single crochet because I didn't know how to do anything else. So yeah, I did single crochet around the whole thing. The bottom of this blanket was agony. It was terrible. Like, this took me forever because I work on this one, I work into both loops. On my blue summer blanket, where I only did the first loop, there was just like a nice line here. This one, there was kind of a nice line, but it was so tight. It was so tight. My tension has really changed. This blanket took me 9 months to make, from like October last year till now. About 9 months, I think. So you can see that my stitches here are much tighter, and as we get here, they are much looser, which I think is a bit of a problem because I actually tried using this as a blanket and it was a little cold. And I was like, well, that's not what blankets should do. I use a 6mm hook for this, so I had to get like a different like needle, like a needle that you would use to weave ends in, and I had to go and put it through and like pull the stitch up just to be able to get my hook through. And even then I still had to like pry it over, and it was terrible and my hands hurt so bad, but we did it. And it was much easier the second time around when I was just working into a single crochet. I did a half double crochet then, which is why it's so thick. The third part of the pattern for the border on this blanket is you do kind of the cluster stitch you've been doing, except you do a double crochet and the cluster stitch instead of a half double crochet and the cluster stitch. And I did start that, but I think I messed something up at like the starting point, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't working well. It was like weird, it was like a hump, it just wasn't working well. And I already felt like this border was pretty thick. It made sense with the other one, the summer blanket, which I was following the pattern like exactly, because that one you use 3 different colors. This is all just white, and I thought it was already pretty thick. I don't know. So I just thought that wasn't necessary, and I kind of wanted it to be done. So I did that, and I finished it just with the half double, and I think it looks, I'm really proud of it, obviously. And now I only have one arrow store thing left, and then it's like over, like it's actually over, because at least for me, I can be reminded of it by having to go on the blanket, but it's like it's gonna be over, and that's so sad. But that is probably, you know, the biggest achievement this month. The next one I have is the aforementioned first US leg blanket. This one, since all the colors are one row, I was going insane on this. I was going crazy on this. So I did actually, I just want to say I did weave in ends this month because, you know, I had to do the border on this one. So I did weave in, I believe it was from here on one side. I don't really remember how, but I know I did weave in ends this month. And on this, which was quite a feat because I had to go from here to here. I weave in ends on every like sparkly row, if you can see it, which is like an announcement or a music video or something. I weaved in all those ends, and since it's one row, I have to do it on the other side too. And I weaved in these ends really quick because it was just a sparkly row, like almost back to back. There was just 2 rows in between. And then I just kept crocheting. So it doesn't even look like I weaved in ends, but I did. I know my ends are crazy long. They probably don't need to be, but whatever. In my last video, I believe I was at Hits Different in Chicago. I did a little bit. I did a little bit more. I don't know what happened. I just went crazy. I went insane. I was crocheting so much. I really didn't think that it was going to be that different because I usually just spend all my free time crocheting. So I thought like it wouldn't be that different. Oh, it's different. This is all I did. Even when I was busy, like when I had free time while I was busy, I would just be crocheting. I'm not even going to attempt to list all these. I probably could if I really thought about it. Somebody wants to just hear a list of songs. Like, no one cares. I will say though, this section, this is Minneapolis, is so pretty. It's like probably one of, if not my favorite section. on the blanket because like it's so pretty. It goes like gray, purple, the border, and then just they're so pretty. Don't look at this part. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I love it. I love it so much. This is where I am now. I just finished Santa Clara. Yesterday I did all the girls you lived before and then the border here. And now I'm probably gonna finish this this month because I literally only have one city left. Granted, it's like basically the space of 2 shows, but like 2 cities, but like still. We saw how much I did earlier. So I don't think that'll be a problem. And I just have Los Angeles left. And then I'm done. I'm done with this blanket. I'm done with the Eras tour. All the yarn I have, it's all done. And that's so sad. But it's nice to like, you know, finish something and like be accomplished. And like, yeah, like I did that. If I counted right, I crocheted 44 rows just on this blanket. That's insane. What am I doing? What am I doing? Like, why? What? Like, what? And my wrist have been feeling better. At the end of like May, start of June, my wrist was kind of starting to hurt a bit, and that got better. How did I do 44 rows just on this blanket and my wrists don't really hurt? Like, what? That's crazy. I guess I'm just like a pro. I did get new stitch markers, which is awesome because I went on like a little rant. I forgot which video it is. These are the new ones. They don't look much different. The other ones, they just kept snapping. Like you just try to open it and then it was done. And so I was like running out and I was like, oh, like I don't have enough. So I ordered some. Now I have way too many. But these ones are awesome. You can bend them and they don't snap. I haven't had a single one break, which is awesome because it's really annoying when they break. So I'm probably gonna finish that this month, if not get pretty close. And then the last thing that I can like hold and show you that I've actually worked on is my bag. I have been making a hibiscus tote bag. I'll have the pattern in the description as I always do. It has been going pretty well. In my last video, I finished the first side. It's like tapestry crochet basically. I finished the first side and I was like, I have to start the second one, but I really don't want to because you have to count the first couple rows and chains and stuff and I don't want to count. I did all this in 1 month. Less than a month actually, because I didn't do this right on like June 1st. I forgot when I started it, but I was just like, well, I just have to start it and then I can just work on it easier and get it done with, because I wanted to have it done ideally by the end of summer, which might happen. I don't know, we'll see. It looks pretty good. I was gonna work on it yesterday, but I thought I was at a pretty good stopping point for the video because then the next petal starts and I was like, I don't know. I like it just kind of like this right now. I did all this in 1 month. This is like 30 something rows. Oh my god. 30 and 40 and whatever the other one was. Like I've literally done over 80 rows just this month. What is wrong with me? What is my problem? But I'm so proud of it. This one is definitely a lot better than my other one. I've just gotten better at controlling the yarn because you crochet, I know it's tapestry crochet, but you hold the yarn along with it. You probably could float it, but I don't know because it's a bag, so I haven't floated anything before. This is the first time I've ever done tapestry crochet, so I would like be worried that it would be too loose, and if it's like a bag then it wouldn't be functional. I would rather take being able to see the colors through a little bit than it not being super functional and annoying to use, because then I would never use it. But I'm so proud of this and it's really good. I'm a little worried though because on my other one, on the finished side, it's very loose at the bottom and it's very tight at the top. You know, since I've gotten better at this, I don't think I'm gonna quite have that problem as much. So I'm a little worried because you just sew the 2 pieces together, so we'll see how it goes. But luckily this one is for me, so it's okay. And I say that because now I will tell you about all of the projects that I am planning on working on this month that I don't have to show you. And the first one is that exact pattern, the hibiscus bag for my cousin. I think I said this in my last video. I showed her like a picture of what I was working on. She's like, oh my god, that's so cool. I would love one of those. And I was like, okay, and then we were at like the yarn store and she wouldn't respond with what color she wanted until we already left. But oh, I forgot to tell this. I was in, I don't remember which row it was because there's been a lot of Speak Now at this part of the blanket because this is right when Speak Now Taylor's version came out. I think it was one of these. I don't think it was this one. Yeah, it was one of these, I think. Probably this one, which is Timeless. Yeah, that sounds right. It was Timeless, I think. I ran out of yarn in the middle of the row and I didn't have a backup, like a second skein. So I had to pause, and that's actually why I think I finished this, just because I couldn't work on this one because I didn't have the yarn for it, so I went to work on that one. So when we went to get the yarn for that, we also got the yarn for that bag. The color she sent me, it's like kind of this color, this like hot pinkish color as the white, where the white is, and a lighter pink where the petals are. There is a third color in the straps that I didn't tell her about, just because I was like, I'll choose that on my own. That'll be up to me with my best judgment. I just got like a different shade of pink because that's what I did for this one. I just have like a lighter shade of pink for the third color in the straps. Not that I've gotten there yet, but you know, I got the yarn for that. I got 2 of each of the main colors just because that's what I did for this bag for me, and I was like, we don't have to make as many trips. My grandma apparently also wants a bag. Not that she asked for it, but my mom really wants me to make her one. Not that I'm opposed to making her one, but I wasn't planning on it earlier. I'm making one of those like tulip bags where it's like a row of like tulips and it's like a couple rows of that. I found like a YouTube video, so I will try following that. If it turns out good, I'll make one for myself. I got the yarn for that too. I don't know when I'm gonna start it because I don't really have like a date. I want to get my cousin's bag done by like ideally like her birthday in August, which the less I have to work on once I finish that bag and once I finish this blanket, I'm not gonna have much to work on. I have another thing that I'll get to, so I'll have more time to work on that, and if not, then by like Christmas. But she said she wanted it to be like a beach bag, so ideally I would finish it by her birthday. And the one for my grandma, I don't know, she lives far away. That brings me to our next thing. I'm going on a trip this month for a while, for a good chunk of the month. And last time I went, I was like, I really missed crocheting while I was gone. I now will have something else to do. Now I can edit my videos because I have another video I'm gonna upload this month because I do like 2 videos a month. So I can edit that while I'm gone. But yeah, I really missed crocheting last time we went. So I wanted to crochet while I was gone. And I was gonna originally, I've been planning on making this blanket for my sister. She doesn't watch my videos, so hopefully she won't see this because it's actually like a surprise. But I am making this blanket for my sister, which is the 1989, the Lover, and the Divider white color, because she said she liked those, and she's like, oh, that'd be so cool if you had like a gender reveal blanket, that'd be funny. So I started that about a year ago. I had like 4 rows done by the time of her birthday, so it was not ready. And I'm gonna use like the same pattern as the blue summer blanket I have, just substitute the colors. So like the blue would be the 1989 blue, the linen and stuff would be white, and the 2 other colors would be the pink. I've been meaning to work on that, and I was gonna bring that on because it's only 3 colors, so I was like, oh, that's perfect. I got a plastic 6mm hook so I can bring it on the plane because I use like aluminum hooks, and I found out like a way to cut yarn on the plane. I think you can use like floss or something, like the thing that cuts floss and like a thing, because obviously you can't bring scissors on a plane. And I was gonna like do that, and my mom was like, oh, it's not gonna take up a lot of space, and I was like, it's fine. Thinking about it now, it probably will take up a lot of space, not even if just the yarn but the blanket, because I'm like, well, the more I crochet, the less yarn there will be, so it's perfect, and I'll have a good, amazing head start because her birthday's in October. But I don't think I'm gonna have the space to bring that. So instead, I'm thinking of bringing my cousin's bag because that's only 2 colors and you don't have to cut it because it's just 2 colors that you keep on the whole time, and it's smaller. It takes up less space. Even when it's finished, it's just like 2 sheets basically of crochet. And I think that's a better idea now, but then I still have to get a because I have this 3.75 millimeter hook and it's aluminum, so I can't bring that on a plane. And I got the plastic hook because I was really sure I was gonna bring it. I was really sure I was gonna do that. So I have to get a plastic hook for that to be able to do that. And I was a little worried because you follow like a chart. So I was like, well, it's not really quite the like turn off my brain activity I'm looking for. But I think it's probably better to do that one, and then it'll be done faster, and it could probably be done by her birthday. Because, I mean, the blanket, I'm gonna be done with this blanket, and I like to crochet watching YouTube or like a show or something. I can't really do that with a bag. Blankets are amazing just because I know the stitch so well by now. I can literally just do it and like not even look pretty much. Once this is done, which it probably will be, I will have lots of time, and apparently now I crochet super fast, I guess. 44 rows on like almost 80 rows in 1 month. I guess I'm just the Flash, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. I am doing an extended version of the blue blanket just because she's tall, so I want a longer one for her. I did start that last night because I didn't want to start a new city. It was purely for filming reasons. I didn't want to start a new city before I filmed, and I didn't want to start the next like pedal part on that before I filmed. And I was like, well, I've been meaning to do that, so I frogged it. And I was just gonna frog it to the chain, and then I was just gonna work in that chain. But the reason why I didn't do both loops originally was because I couldn't get my hook through both loops. And so I was like, well, I have different tension now than I did like a year ago. So I just undid the chain too, and I chained it, which sucked. I just don't like chaining. I didn't count it, which I probably should have. I counted while I was chaining, but I didn't count it again because I didn't want to and I was bored. You have to have an odd number of chains or else it's not gonna work, and you're gonna have to undo the whole row you just did. Literally take out one chain and keep going. And so that's really annoying, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I hate chaining and I hate working into a chain, but once that part's done, I'll be able to crochet faster and work on it more. My dad has been loving the summer blanket I made, because now that it's done, I just put it like in the living room so anyone who wants it can use it, and hopefully they do because I worked really hard on that. And so when I finished this one, I was like, which one do you guys like more, the international one or this one? And they was like, I can't choose. Actually, I do have a favorite, this one, the summer blanket. And I was like, so that actually wasn't my question, but okay, sure, whatever. I was like, because his favorite, by the way, his favorite color is green. He was like, it'd be awesome if you made this in like different shades of green. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So I guess I have another project I'm making. I don't really know when I'm gonna start that. I probably will. Probably after I finish my sister's, because that one is coming up sooner. His birthday's in February, but like I could probably also do it for Father's Day. That gives me a lot of time. I don't even have the yarn for that though. So I do have the yarn for every other project I want to make. I have a couple other projects I have been wanting to make that I just don't know how. Like I want to make the granny square blanket that's in like the Integrity Farms house from South Park. I'll put a picture up. I've never made a granny square before. I would love to learn, so I haven't started yet. And then I've been also trying to make like South Park plushes, but I can't find the right pattern for that. There's a lot of stuff I want to make. Another thing I noticed, this is just kind of on the side, TikTok recently I think just like discovered that I crochet, because now I get a bunch of, not now because I've moved on to something else, but for a while I was getting a bunch of crochet TikToks, and it was so interesting to me when I would read comments. They're like, oh, I can only do like amigurumi. I wish I could do blankets. Like I want to do a blanket but I can't. Or like I only do wearables. I wish I could do blanket. That was the craziest one because I started with blankets, so I know how to do blankets. So I was always like, that seems like so easy to me. Like how does no one know? How is that like so hard? I wish I could do wearables. I wish I could do amigurumi. I wish I could do granny squares. But that's just so interesting, it's like different perspective. It's like I know how to do blankets, so I think that one's really easy, and I think everything else is really hard. If you know how to do tapestry, or you know how to do wearables or granny squares or amigurumi, everything else would seem hard. A blanket might seem hard, which is insane to me. But yeah. Just an interesting thing about perspective that I thought was cool. It's kind of all I have. Just a little update. If you watched all the way through, thank you so much. If you would like to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. I still feel really weird saying that. Or leave a comment, that'd be cool too. But otherwise, that's all I have for you. And maybe I will see you next time. Bye!